Welcome to another edition of GA's Dirty Deeds. I'm James Lott Jr. here on JLJ Media, and I was perusing the interwebs, some Facebook groups, and Twitter X, or whatever we call it. I think it's called X. I know it's called X, but whatever it's called. I have been perusing both of those and seeing what people are saying, and it's very interesting. So it's Pride Month right now, right? So it's LGBTQIA plus Pride Month, which again angers some people already, and that's a whole other thing. I'll talk about that somewhere else. But in terms of GH, who has in their cast role gay, lesbian, trans characters, to me they do a piss poor job of having that on their show right now. They do have Kraze, so they have Christina and Blaze on there, but I'm seeing most of the criticism and drama surrounding Natalia, who plays Allie, Blaze's mother, played by Eva LaRue. Who Eva is a great person. I've interviewed her before. Nice person. Oh, great time. Great actress. Emmy winner. Wonderful. But I've been seeing things, and I just felt like I gotta say a little something because I come from the alphabet soup myself. And I also come from the Brown community also, and the Catholic community. I come from all of that. So I want to just give my just 2 cents. That's what I do here. That's what I do. I'll take it for what it's worth. But I'm seeing people go back and forth. I'm seeing a lot of people go back and forth about this. And I think that's actually the point. Natalia is not an evil person. She represents a segment of the population that believes the way she does. For me, I'm actually enjoying the way they're writing it this time. That is not just so openly, it's so like hugely yelling homophobic shit. Like she's not doing that. That it's very subtle. For many of us who are brown and who come from backgrounds who do come out, this is a lot of times is what happens. More often than the screaming, yelling, kicking you out of the house. Many times they want you still in the family. They're trying to save you on some level, quote unquote, save you. It's real. That to me, all that's realistic. I think fans are supposed to be upset at Natalia for just not really embracing the relationship and the wording she's using. I think it's I'm enjoying the dialogue and her portrayal. She's kind of buttoned up. And the fact that Sonny accepts his daughter, that's one of the not flaws of Sonny. I think that's a great juxtaposition. So for me, as a person who has gone through all this before in my real life, this seems realistic to me, or as close as it can be realistic. And I also what's also interesting too about this, people are arguing about. I think it is disturbing, and it's 2024. And even Ava said the other day, I was like, it's 2024. Like, I know a lot of folks, the media will say one thing, of course, but I think a lot of folks that I meet really okay with gay and lesbian people are fine. In general, they're fine. They have no problem with that, and they have other things they're thinking about. That's the last thing they're thinking about. The media and other things will say otherwise. And yes, there are things happening in our country here in America that are disturbing against the LGBTQ plus community. We have to continue fighting for. It's not over. It's like saying we're post-racial or not post-racial. Like all this stuff, there's still problems out there, and it depends on where you live and where you are and who's doing it. It's very individual. And so my soap operas, I wish there were more queer people on soaps, just like I wish there were more Black and Latino. And I want more inclusion and better representation. My problem is with General Hospital in general is what I did there, is that I would be more offended if they just trotted out all the gay folks in June because it's Pride Month. I think they should do a few things maybe for Pride, just to say that, to acknowledge Pride, but we don't need anybody trotted out and then performative measures taken and then they go away the rest of the year. There were several soap operas that had just characters who happened to be of the alphabet world, who had storylines and just like all kinds of life on their shows, good, bad, and ugly, year round. Days of Our Lives was a great example of that, especially. So that's why I'm like, I think Jake's doing a poor job, and we never see Terry. Brad obviously disappeared. Felix is only on during the nurse's ball. Like, yes, we have Kraze, but why is it just like one at a time? Like, why is it only a couple things? I have more questions about that than criticism about that than anything else. Um, I feel like the show's just year round, just to have everybody is included. Just give them other shows, nighttime shows are doing it, streaming shows are doing it. I just daytime is like the last bastion of like we're gonna be very strict and not do anything, and but then we get this, but and that's why I get sometimes too. I'll make sure I say this too. I do get this sometimes because we don't have enough representation or enough varied representation. When we get something, it is scrutinized. We're all looking at it, and for some people, it's either triggering or it's not good enough for them, or they don't like the storyline. I totally get it. That part I get also. I'm like, okay, I get it. But for me, this storyline to me is realistic on some level, as much as it can be for daytime television, and I can relate to it. So there's a segment of us probably so we can relate to it. So that's just know for those who are not relating to it or you don't see, just know there are people who are relating to it. And I am curious to see what's going on with this. Now we also have Aiden. That's the pacing on that storyline has just been atrocious. I agree with that. Now I don't know because we have so many different writing regime differences changes in the last 6-7 months. I don't know who exactly started the story and who's picking it up, and then that person left, and are they going to continue it? So we kind of have to wait and see when it comes to him what they're going. They may have a big story plan for him down the way, or they may just cut it. This General Hospital, we have no idea. I understand the distrust. I do understand it. I understand distrust of how they're going to handle this because it's just been this poorly plotted out planned thing. So I don't know. It's tough when you are otherized and underrepresented on soaps. That's just a big thing right there. When you're otherized and underrepresented on soaps, it creates all this dissension. It just does. And I think, and that's just the bottom line. And then I wish that the folks at General Hospital would see this and go, the fans want we want certain things. We want good story, number one. That's number one. But we want variety. We want variety of characters, and there are characters who are beloved that are part of the other things on the show. So I don't know. That's my 2 cents, and I'm seeing it going back and forth. I'm seeing it, but in the big picture, I'm with you. I want them to do better, and hopefully get on the right path. I'm James Lott Jr. I do the GH Spotlight on Sundays with Frank Moran on YouTube Live. You can check out all the episodes, audio and video, on JLJ Media YouTube or any streaming audio service program. So you check those out. I'm James Lott Jr. and I will see you next time.